Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, I thought I would do like a little eyeshadow collection video just to show you guys like what I have, how I got it or where I got it from and things like that. And if the lighting looks a little bit better, it's because I decided to invest in a little ring light to see if it would help with the video lighting. So if you like it or you don't like it, just let me know down in the comments and we'll try to figure out what we can do. But let's go ahead and jump into my little eyeshadow collection. So I have my things in like a little drawer, but you can't see it because it's like on a pulley cart thing. But we'll go ahead and pull out our first palette. So the first one is the Urban Decay palette. It's the Born to Run. My best friend that moved to California bought it for me for a Christmas present. I'll show you the inside and you can see a little setup, but it's these eyeshadow palettes. They're super cute. I love them. I've swatched them all. They're very pigmented. They're very easy to use and blend. I kind of stay towards neutrals because I like the neutral shades, but it's a really nice, pretty palette. I'm not sure how much this retails for, but I can link everything down in the description if you want to buy it or find it and see how much it costs. The next palette is this little Tarte palette. I got this in a BoxyCharm. It's the BU Naturally Eyeshadow palette. It smells like chocolate. It smells so good. And this is probably my everyday palette. I use this for the eye makeup I had on today. I used this shade and this one. And it is just perfect. I love it. This one is also very easy to use and blend. And then I have another Tarte palette. It's the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3. And it's really dirty because it's very used, but it's a whole bunch of shimmers with one little matte transition shade right here. Super pretty, super pigmented. They're very easy to use and to blend out. What I do is like I'll use it with my finger, so I'll just get it on my finger and I'll like pack it on, or I'll dampen a synthetic brush and pack it onto my eyelid. So the next one is this Fairy Tale Storybook Cosmetics. I think this one is Peter Pan. Nope. This is Robin Hood, my bad. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I haven't used it yet, but it has all these shades in it. I probably haven't used this yet just because of these two shades and this one, but I'll probably dabble into it later and do a video on a look that I used with it. This is really cute. I've swatched them. They're a little, have a little bit of fallout, but it's not too bad. The next one is this Butter London. This is their Natural Goddess palette. Super cute. It's very pretty. Have not used this one yet. I haven't even swatched it, so I'll go ahead and swatch it. Oh, okay. That's pretty pigmented and it's very pretty. Let's do this one. Oh, okay. So they're not too bad. Very pigmented, very pretty shades. So I will have to use those. Let me wipe that off. So the next one I have is from Pretty Vulgar. It's their Nightingale eyeshadow palette. Looks like this. Really pretty. It's got a couple dark shades, some transition shades, and these three like lighter shades up top. I have not used this one either. I have swatched it and it swatches pretty well. Still has a good bit of fallout, but I like it. The shades are really pretty. So these are some of the shades. Super pretty. Very pigmented. I'll have to use it. I think I got this one in a BoxyCharm. Most of my palettes come from my BoxyCharm subscription box. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This one is really old. It's the Estee Lauder Pure Color Envy Sculpting eyeshadow palette. It's very used. So it comes with all of these eyeshadows and it comes with two blushes. I'm not a blush person, so I haven't touched them. and you can see which ones I have used the most. But these are super pretty. I use this like every day. These two, well, these three shades, they don't really show up really well. You gotta pack a lot of it on to get them to show, but actually, I think it's pretty much all the shades. I've tested them all out at some point, and you do have to pack on a pretty good bit to get them to show, but I mean, it's an eyeshadow palette and it'll look pretty, so I use it. Next one is this Element of Surprise Color Pop. I have this Element of Surprise palette. Super cute. I've used it a couple times. It's super pigmented. There is a good bit of fallout from these shadows, but they blend really easily and there's nothing wrong with them. Next, I have this Pure palette. They did a collab with BoxyCharm. Wow, I didn't even show it to you guys, sorry. So it just looks like this. It's really pretty. It has these pretty shades at the bottom. I have not used this yet. Like a bunch of my eyeshadows. I've swatched it a little bit. But it's kind of not my thing because it's got a lot of pinky warm undertones, and I kind of go for like cool undertones every now and then. And if I do warm undertones, they're not like that pink. So we'll see. Next one is this Winky Looks Kitten palette. It was also from one of my BoxyCharms. Looks like this. Super pretty, very pigmented. The only shade that's not really all that pigmented is, well, these two shades right here. They're not too pigmented, but they're okay. Super cute palette. I've used it a couple times. They are kind of rough to blend, but that's alright. Maybe I'll play with it some more later and see if I can figure out a good way to make them all blend together. Let's see. Oh, I have this City Mini palette from Maybelline New York. I got this in, I wouldn't call it a PR package, but I have an app on my phone called Influencer, and companies can send you makeup to review and stuff. So they sent me this little palette. I haven't used it since I reviewed it. I don't really care for it. It's pretty pigmented. Like, here, I'll swatch some. So like, it's pretty pigmented. They're very pretty, but they're really hard to blend. And if you blend it a little too much, you lose the shadows. So you have to like reapply and be really easy and gentle with it. So I haven't used it much since then, but every now and then I'll dabble into like this color or this color. The next one is this Pure Festival palette. I got this in BoxyCharm. Super pretty. The shades are really nice, super pigmented. Worked with these and I don't really care for them. It's really hard for me to get those on. I will wet a synthetic brush and I'll try to pack them on, and they just don't show up. But the rest of the shades are really nice. There's a little bit of fallout, but it's not too much, and they are super easy to blend. I think my favorite shade is probably Psychedelic in this palette. It's super pretty. Yeah. And then here's the next one. So they're super pretty, very pigmented. I've used it a couple times for like night outs or like things like that, but I haven't used it much since then. Let's see. I have so many, so it gives me a second. Okay. So I have this Celestial Thunder palette from Dominique Cosmetics. I've never heard of this like makeup brand before. It was sent to me in a BoxyCharm, like pretty much every eyeshadow palette I own, like I said earlier. And it still has the little protective cover on it, so I'm gonna take that off. The shades are super pretty, I will give it that. But they're not shades that I typically use, so I haven't touched it. Maybe now that I have this channel, I'll dabble into like different shades that I'm not used to using, but they swatch really pretty. It looks pretty pigmented. So we'll have to see, and I'll have to give it a try. I'll do a first impressions with this one soon. and we'll see how I like it and if it's something I keep or decide to give to a friend, because that's usually what I do with most of my palettes. If I don't like them or they're just not my style, I'll give them to a friend. So the next one is the, I'm gonna butcher this name, the Ace Beauty. I'm gonna just say Ace Beauty. It's the Grandiose palette. I got this in a BoxyCharm. Super cute. I am obsessed with this palette. I used to use it all the time. I would specifically use these 3 shades right here. They're pretty pigmented. They're very creamy. Very easy to blend. If you can see them. There we go. Super easy to blend. There is a lot of fallout, so that's my only problem with it, but other than that, it's a nice pretty palette. I use it for like when I go out and everything. Next one, let's do one that I actually bought with my own money for once. The Anastasia Subculture palette. I bought this not so long after it came out. You see all these pretty shades. This has a lot of fallout and some of the shades are a little chalky. But I've used it a couple times, and you know, the shades that I do like I use, and the shades that are chalky or I don't think come out right I don't use. So like these 2 shades, they came out really chalky and they're really hard for me to use and to blend. Just blending them even a little bit, they just disappear. But it's a very pretty palette. I mostly use it for the shimmer shades and this blue shade. I've done a few looks with that and I like it a lot. So for me, this one wasn't really worth the money since they're chalky and I can lose the pigmentation, but it's fine. I'm not too mad at it. I still use it for some of the shades. So next one is this Pro Crown palette. I think I got this one in a BoxyCharm also, and this is another one of my favorites. I love every single tone in this palette, and I have used it a butt ton. So let me do, they're very creamy, very easy to use and blend. Here are some of the shades. They're super pretty. I love them. I use them all the time. I don't really have anything bad to say about this palette. It's, like I said, it's one of my many favorites. And the shimmers are super easy to work with. Next one is this Dose of Color Sassy Sienna. I haven't even opened this one, so this one's going to be, well, I've opened it, but I haven't used it or swatched it. So I got this in a BoxyCharm. Super pretty colors. I have used the brush that's in it, and I don't care for the brush. But I'm going to swatch some. Wow, they're super creamy still. It's very pretty, very pigmented. They're a little chalky, but I like them. Those are pretty colors. I'll probably have to dabble into these too. Wow, I have more eyeshadow palettes than I thought. So, we'll just keep going. Hopefully I do this and I'm not late to work, because I was in the process of getting ready for work when I decided to film this. Since I still have to work through this coronavirus stuff going on, but it's fine. Gets me out of the house, because I'll stay crazy if I sit in my house all day. So this is from Ace Beauty again. It's their Vintage Dawn palette. Another BoxyCharm, of course. Oh, I still had the protective wrapper on the eyeshadows and it fell out, but we'll ignore that. Super pretty. So not my thing. I'll maybe get out of my comfort zone and try some of these shades out eventually, but let's swatch some. Most likely do a video with these eventually when I can persuade myself to get out of my comfort zone. So I'm just going to swatch some of the shimmers. Ooh, they're super pretty. They feel a little dry, but they're very pretty, very pigmented. Let's see what some of these matte shades swatch like, if I can get all this off my hands. Okay, the matte shades feel really velvety and creamy. This blue one, though, felt a little dry and a little chalky. But those are super pigmented. Really pretty. I'll have to try this out in a video and we'll see how it goes. So we'll move on to the next palette. So I was super excited to receive a Laura Lee Los Angeles palette in my BoxyCharm. But I got the Party Animal one, which is not my cup of tea, because these are very neon and very bright. I haven't used it, and I won't lie, I probably won't use it. Maybe I can persuade myself, but super creamy, super pigmented. I like these a lot. They're very nice. I just have no reason to use them, to be honest, since I don't wear things like that, and I work every day, and my eyeshadows consist of pretty little neutrals and things like that. So we'll see if I use it, and if I use it, I will definitely do a video on it. So the next one is this Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe eyeshadow palette. Looks like this. They're pretty. I've used these two shimmer shades, as you can see, and I haven't used anything else. Mostly just because I have so many palettes, I forget I have this one. But they're super pretty, super pigmented, just like the first time I swatched them. I'll have to play around with this palette and try it out one day. There is some fallout, though, on these shades from when I did swatch them. It was a good bit of fallout. So we'll see if they blend pretty or not. But it shouldn't be a problem if they blend nicely. Next is this Too Faced I Believe in Pink palette. And I actually got this and this Too Faced Natural Beauty and the Super Fun Night Too Faced palette in a Christmas present like package that a cousin gave me. So I'll show you the Super Fun Night. Super pretty. It comes with all these eyeshadows and this nice pretty highlight at the bottom. The highlight's a little dry and chalky, so I haven't used it, and it doesn't really show up really well on my skin. But the rest of the shades I have used. They're super pretty, very easy to blend, and very pigmented. I've used, mostly out of this palette, I've used the Lucky Star Oh What Fun in the black shade, because this is the only matte black shade that I find is super pigmented and that I like. And then in the I Believe in Pink palette, it has this very, very pink blush that I don't use. It's super pigmented, even a little bit shows up a little too much on my skin since I'm so fair, so I don't touch at it. But the shades in this one are super pigmented, super pretty. I've used all the shades in this palette for a look and was very happy with it. And then you have the Too Faced Natural Beauty palette. This one is going to be one of my favorites because of all the warm tone nudes. This is like a shimmery bronzer type thing. I haven't used it just because I don't like shimmery bronzers, but I'll probably give it a shot when I run out of my NARS Laguna. And I've used all the shadows in this palette. Again, super pretty, super easy to blend, very pigmented. One of my favorites. I always turn to that. Next is this really old Maybelline New York The Nudes palette. I only used like 2 shades in it. It's not that great. And yes, I mean, yeah, it's a drugstore palette, and I did buy this with my own money. Yeah, but they're not that pigmented, and they're not that great. I don't really have any use for it, so I should probably throw it away. So the next palette I have is the Morphe 350 palette. My best friend in California gave this to me one year for Christmas, and it's like their original palette with all of these very, very pretty nudes. I use this palette all the time. It's one of my favorites. Super pigmented, very easy to blend, and it's super affordable. This is one of my favorite brands for affordable eyeshadows, brushes, everything, and everything works really well. So I've used all the shimmers, all the mattes, and they never let me down. Very easy to blend, not very much fallout, so it's one of my favorites. So I'm done with the palettes. Now I just have like eyeshadow singles. Oh wait, I lied. I found one. I have the Violet Voss Essentials palette that I got in a BoxyCharm. I haven't used this one. Bunch of pretty shades. Very out of my comfort zone again. But one day I will use it. I have swatched them. They're really creamy, really pigmented, super nice. That's 3 of the shades. So I like this palette a lot. I have to do a video with it if I decide to try it out. We'll see. So all that I have left now are singles. So I'm gonna grab all of those. So I have this Ofra Cosmetics single. It's like a really pretty gold shimmery shade. I got this in, I want to say like an Ipsy. Whoop, and I just dropped it. Ha. It's like this, super pretty, super pigmented. I love it. I use it all the time. I love Ofra Cosmetics. I just never buy anything from it because of the price, but maybe one day when I can afford it, I'll buy some more stuff from that website. But like I said, I got this one in an Ipsy, and I got some Anastasia singles. I have 3 of them. They're right here. I bought these at TJ Maxx for like $7 a piece, I think. And it's been a long time since I bought them. So I have the shade Fawn. If I can open it. Super pretty neutral brown shade. I use this as a transition shade. It's really pretty. Super pigmented. Next one is this eyeshadow in 10K. It's like a shimmery champagne-y color, I guess you would say. I've used this this one has a lot of fallout and it's not as pigmented, but it's still a super nice shade, and I'll use it every now and then if I'm doing like a really simple eye look for the day. Then I have this Anastasia single, same place, TJ Maxx. This is called Topaz. It's a darker shimmery brown. I've used it a couple times. It's super pretty, really pigmented. It is a little chalky and it has a good bit of fallout, but it gets the job done, so I don't question it, and I still use it from time to time. And that's it. That is my eyeshadow collection. If there's a certain eyeshadow palette that you saw that you want me to do a look with, please feel free to comment down below, and I will definitely get to it and try it out for you guys and see how I feel about it, and if I'm gonna keep it, or like I said, like give it to a friend or sterilize it and donate it or anything like that. So if you like this video and you want me to keep doing little like makeup collection videos with these or any other like types of makeup that I might have, give this a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.